We are live with bonus coverage of the junior varsity game as it is 4-0 Pioneer with the lead over Bedford with the JV squad with 3:23 left to go. So we'll pull off our graphic here for a moment and follow this game and get you a little bonus coverage. Then we will have Pioneer versus Bedford, the varsity contest, right after this, as it is senior day. So we will have the senior celebration about halfway through right during halftime. We'll celebrate the seniors on this team. So under 3 minutes left to go. As there is taking it down, Bedford trying to come down the far side, kicked away. Pioneer brings it back over, gathered and fired all the way back into the attacking third. Racing over on the near side is Swani. Swani with a shot, and that got put in out there by Amani Swani, making a 5-0 Pioneer. They'll bring that back into the center circle as the junior varsity squad continues to roll. Bedford, the varsity squad, is 1-6-3 on the season, as their one lone win for the varsity squad came against Lincoln, that back on the 15th at 3-0 win by the Kicking Mules. That comes back over, sent out the near touchline. So that'll be a throw-in. Pioneers varsity squad 10-3-3 on the season. Second in the SEC Red. We'll pull up that graphic in just a moment as that was thrown in. Thrown on the near side, that goes out the end line, and that'll go up and over the fence all the way back. 1 minute 25 seconds and counting down. 5-0 Pioneer with the lead. As they get a ball over for the corner. Owens to take the corner for what is most likely the final set piece of the game. That up high in the air, pulled down, headed up by Bedford. Brought back Pioneer under control, now pulled away. 50 seconds left here in the second. Pioneers JV squad up 5-0. As they start bringing it back the other direction. Trying to race over that grab down by Karsh. Karsh moves it over. And grab by the Bedford keeper. 32 seconds left to go. Popped up high. Battle for it right on the blockade. Sent back by Owens. Popped up. Trying to pull it over. Bedford sending it down the pitch. It's Anderson, Ryan Anderson trying to grab that. Pulled away by Owens and now rocketed all the way down the far touchline. That'll go out with 3 seconds left. 1 second, and that will do it as the JV squad wins 5-0. So Pioneer JV with the win. The varsity squad will hope to follow suit coming up in 10 minutes. As let's take a little bit of a look at what we have here, and let's run down the schedule thus far for Pioneer. And we'll pull up our nice graphic letting you know exactly the game here. So taking a look, Pioneer, 10 wins, 3 losses, 3 draws. They started off with a draw versus Woodhaven, scoreless draw. They then beat Northville, Sylvania, that back on the 20th of August. They had a 0-0 draw versus Skyline back on the 22nd of August. Then they had 2 wins in a row, beating Dexter 5-1 and beating Huron 1-0. That was here at Hollway Field back on the 27th. On the 30th of August, it was a 6-4 win versus Saline. Then on the 1st of September, they had a 1-0 win versus Lincoln. It was 6-0 over Monroe, that back on the 6th. And then the last time these two teams faced each other, that was over at Bedford Not sure if they still play at the soccer stadium. They probably now play at the football stadium now that they have turf. There used to be a separate soccer lacrosse stadium over at Bedford. And that was a 6-1 win. Pioneer winning back on the 8th of September at the Kicking Mules. Then they had a win 3-1 over Rockford over at Rockford. Again, a scoreless tie versus Skyline, this time at home back on September 13th. They had a 2-1 win over Troy. The Dexter game was postponed. They had a big 1-0 win over Saline that back on the 22nd. That was at the Hornet Stadium. They beat Lincoln 7-0 here at Hollway Field back on the 28th. They beat Monroe 2-1 on the 29th of September, and they beat Dexter the 1st of October. That was 2-0. And that brings us to senior night here at Hollway Field. We'll be celebrating a number of different seniors with this team that includes Wilhelm, Adonis Anderson, Berman, Kennard, Lucas Anderson, Chuknowski, Fiore, Medina, Rivera, Wilkins, Kerfkins, Starosta, Kaba, and Piroff, all seniors, so lots and lots of wonderful seniors on this squad to celebrate today, and we are very, very grateful for them and their entire Pioneer career, their entire Pioneer soccer career. So a big, huge thank you to them. Bedford, again, as we said, 1-6-3. We said the one win was versus Lincoln. That was 3-0 over at Bedford. That was back on the 15th. Otherwise, they dropped a 5-1 game versus Huron to start off this season. They lost to Northville 4-1. They had a 2-2 draw versus Monroe that at Bedford. They lost 7-0 to Saline. 6-1 they lost to Pioneer. We talked about that. They had a 1-1 draw versus Dexter. That was at home. They lost 6-0 to Huron. They had that 3-0 win versus Lincoln. Then they had a 3-2 loss versus Whitmer High School. They had a 1-1 draw versus Monroe, that back on the 22nd of this month. They lost 2-1 at Saline. It was at Bedford, but they lost to Saline. And then they lost 10-2 to Skyline back on the 29th. And that's how we got here. Now let's take a look at the SEC Red standings as we pull that up and apply those changes. So right up at the top is Saline. Saline has 11 wins, 1 loss, no ties or draws for 33 points. They're 4 points ahead of Pioneer. Pioneer 9-1-2 in the SEC, 29 points. So with 2 games left, Pioneer is a total of 4 points behind Saline. So Pioneer, if they want to try and capture the SEC Red title, they need to win out, and they could use some help. They need at least a loss or a draw for Saline to get things together going out. So hopefully if a Pioneer could win, if Saline has a loss and a win, or 2 losses, they would tie Saline if there was a loss and a draw. In third place is Huron. They are 8-3-2, 26 points. They're 3 points behind Pioneer. A big game on Thursday. Pioneer visits Huron at River Rat Stadium. I believe we should be able to. We'll verify with their athletic director, but hopefully we should be able to broadcast that game. Big game there. Skyline is in 4th. They are 5-2-3, so they have 18 points. So they are 8 points behind Huron. Dexter with 5 points. They are 3-6-3 with 12 points in the standings. And then Bedford is 2-6-3 for 9 points. And let's play a quick push on here. So taking a look, we were running down the SEC red standings, and we were talking about Skyline Dexter, 3, 6, and 3 on the season. They have 12 points. Number 6 is Bedford, as we talked about, 2, 6, and 1 here. So they actually say they have one additional win that I did not have in the SEC. So 2, 6, and 3. So 3 draws, 9 points in the SEC. Lincoln is tied with the 7th spot with Monroe. Lincoln has 1 win, 11 losses, no draws for 3 points, and Monroe has no wins, 9 losses, 3 draws for 3 points. So that is your SEC red standing. Of course, the things that we're focused on right up at the top, Saline Pioneer and Huron, all in a big log jam up at the top. Saline 4 points clear, but Pioneer hoping to be able to make up a little bit of that. And of course, some of that depends on what happens with Saline. As looking at some recent scores, Saline has a game today versus Huron. So Huron at Saline. For some reason, there's already a score in there, 1-0. Saline with a win that was on the site, but I believe that game is being played later today. So games in action today, obviously Bedford here at Pioneer. Saline is hosting Huron. Skyline is hosting Dexter. And Monroe hosting Lincoln. If we take a look at what happened back on Monday, it was Pinckney with a 1-0 win over Chelsea. Jackson had a 3-3 draw versus Ypsilanti. And Adrian with a 1-1 draw versus Tecumseh. So that's the early action this week. As we came into the JV game, kind of in progress there. We didn't get a chance to do this, but ladies and gentlemen, Pioneer Men's Varsity Hockey is live and on the air.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sport skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As 40 minutes up on the clock, getting ready as everyone lined up. As fans are coming in here, senior night for this Pioneer men's varsity soccer team. Pioneer men's are in their kits with the dark jerseys, as they have the actually have the names on the back, numbers in white, so black tops, numbers on the front as well, purple shorts and purple socks. All across the way, Bedford is in their white tops for the white kits, the gray shorts, numbers in red on the front and back, Bedford in block lettering across the front. As their keeper Parsons in highlighter yellow, as same color both Wilhelm and Queen over there, as well as parents for Pioneer. As they're getting everything set, more and more fans coming in. Cheer on the teams here. Beautiful, beautiful day. Blue skies, 72 degrees out. Can't ask for much more. Early October, October 4th. Nary a cloud in the sky. I don't actually see any. So all blue skies out there. We hope it'll stay very, very nice. I know we wish everyone else who's dealt with some inclement weather and hard issues, especially those folks in Florida, we send our thoughts and prayers and donations out that way. Hopefully folks with family down there, hopefully everyone is safe. As we're extraordinarily lucky here to have just a gorgeous day. You even have some of the trees starting to turn across the way on the golf course. Some brilliant red leaves popping up there past the main streets. Passed over the Main Street field as the Pioneer field hockey team getting warmed up and practicing over across the way, so you get to see a little bit of that as well. Beautiful view from high up atop of Hollway Field. You do get to see a bit of the Ann Arbor skyline down to our left. Of course, the big house will be empty this Saturday, as Michigan football will be over at Indiana for a clash. Michigan trying to stay unbeaten. Indiana trying to pull the big upset on your Wolverines. Well, my Wolverines. I don't know who you root for. As the teams lined up across the way, fans still coming in as a little bit early, 5:30 varsity game as opposed to the later 7 o'clock varsity games. But you do have a nice crowd of parents scattered here. Don't have anyone from Bedford across the way, but we do have a couple Bedford parents just down over to our left. As we are just both teams getting ready. As we will get going shortly. The officials conversing over there across the way.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Now we'll turn things over to John, the
Ann
public
Arbor
address
Pioneer
announcer.
High School, its athletics department, and its men's soccer program are pleased to welcome the players, coaches, parents, students, alumni, and fans of the Bedford Kicking Mules to today's game against your Ann Arbor Pioneers. Let's meet the participants. First, for Bedford, number 1, sophomore Caleb Parsons. Number 3, Caden Honor. Number 6, Matthew Zaniser. Number 7, Liam Schunk. Number 8, Preston Smolinski. Number 9, Lucas Tomanello. Number 10, Carson Oberski. Number 11, Connor Gore. Number 12, Leo Weidenhauser. Number 13, Zach Janowitz. Number 15, Joseph Jaju. Number 16, Kian Frecker. Number 17, Carter Allison. Number 18, Hussein Joma. Number 23, Ian Hopkins. Then out of order, number 2, Brandon McLeod. Number 14, Derek Lestage. Number 22, Kane Bishop. Number 4, Nathan Mikula. And number 20, Isaiah Wingate. The head coach at Bedford, Mitchell Cugino, assisted by Brandon Morrow. Oh yeah, now your Pioneers, here they are. Number 0, Ryan Queen. Number 1, Zach Wilhelm. Number 99, Cole Peroff, your goalkeeper. Number 2, Adonis Anderson. Number 3, Reese Berman. Number 5, Josh Jacob. Number 6, Rafa Carrillo. Number 7, Sam Kennard. Number 8, Lucas Anderson. Number 9, Jack Van Ryan. Number 10, Isaac Chuknowski. Number 11, Sora Koss. Number 12, Elon Seinfeld-Chop. Number 13, Lucas Strickler. Number 14, Santi Fiori. Number 15, it's Jack Templeton. Number 16, Lucas Medina. Number 17, Diego Rivera. Number 18, Tyler Wilkins. Number 19, Micah Jacobson. Number 20, Alex Pripkins. Number 21, Sori Yansane. Number 22, it's Brendan Moore. Number 23, Felix Starosta. Number 26, Alex Reichler. Number 30, Abdu Kaba. And the head coach of Pioneer, John Sunderman, assisted by Andy Irvine. Also, number 27, Carter Kerbaway. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you rise now for the playing of the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you.
As we are getting ready to go here from Hollway Field for Senior Night, Pioneer hosting the Bedford Kicking Mules. Here's the officials.
Jonathan Reeser and Bob Bastian. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask your cooperation in supporting the officials as they will be working with a two-man team today.
So two-man team with the officials today is every once in a while everyone gets to work shorthanded, so not a lot of fun, but we wish them well. Never an easy job, and you cannot have the games we love without those folks officiating them. So thank you very much. If you think you could do a better job, reach out to the MHSAA. We could always use more officials. As Pioneer heads out onto the field with the black tops on those kits, names on the back. As the official gets that ball set right inside the center circle. As the other official comes over on the near side. getting set is Oberski. Get things started. As we are about to get underway. The JV squad won 5-0. Pioneer trying to make that happen. Stolen away by Lucas Anderson. Coming down, Lucas Anderson gets into the attacking third. Stolen away, Bedford. Coming up the near side is Smolinski. Has it. Fed all the way back right across the center line. That brought back to Kennard on his own defensive third. Kennard and sent over as Wilhelm playing between the pipes. And brought back. Now Kennard in along the near touchline. Kennard gets it ahead to Chuknowski. Chuknowski moves it over to Medina. Medina has that knocked away but gets it back. Medina fires it all the way over on the far side. Berman bringing it ahead. Berman gets it into the middle third. That tipped back by Starosta over to Chuknowski. Chuknowski over to Lucas Anderson coming down the far side of the pitch. Moves it right in along the far touchline. And brought back over. Kerbaway coming down with it. Kerbaway puts it into the far corner for Wilkins. Wilkins with a cross. That knocked down out in front by Frecker. Brought back. That ball headed over. Frecker again moving it down as Chuknowski gets it over. Wilkins keeping it just inside that far touchline. Now coming over, Chuknowski gets it. Kerbaway with a shot that just goes wide. And will be ball set right at the 6. Parsons to kick it away. We're about a minute and a half gone. 38 minutes, 22 seconds left to go here in the first. As that lifted down the pitch, Kerbaway heads it over. That gathered in by the kicking mules as bringing it back is Wagenhauser. Wagenhauser moves it down and that will go out the near touchline. That'll be a throw in for Rivera. Rivera gets it quickly over to Starosta. Starosta brings it back over to Rivera. Rivera works his way towards the center of the pitch with a shot and that grabbed by Parson. Parson comes out to the edge of the 18. Parson pointing out signals, now kicks it down the field. That headed up high by the kicking mules, popped up just over midfield as that brought all the way back into the Pioneer 18. Grabbed there by Wilhelm. Wilhelm now making some motions, getting his players right where he wants them. Dribbles the ball, now pops it up high. Arcing kick all the way down the field. Kerbaway has it. Kerbaway moves it over right down the middle of the pitch as Rivera has it, trying to get around, but that will be an offsides call. Again, with 2 officials, it's going to be tough. They're going to have to run more than a lot of the players out here. I don't envy them as getting it back up and going is Frecker. And all the way down the pitch now, trying to grab that in, shot, and that just goes wide. As Bedford able to put a chance together as that was Oberski firing it just wide to the far side. Wilhelm as it's set at the 6. 36 minutes, 33 seconds left to go here in the first. 0-0 is our score. Wilhelm chips it up high. That headed back over by Gore for the kicking mules. Now racing over. Adonis Anderson has it along the far touchline. And gathered in. Now sent ahead to Lucas Anderson. Lucas Anderson feeding it. Working his way down. Here comes that fired over by Wilkins. Now blasted all the way back by the kicking mules. Kennard chases it back. That's stopped by Wilhelm. Wilhelm again lifts it high down the pitch. And headed up. Grabbing it, Bedford puts it in along the near touchline. Now racing ahead with it. Rivera trying to keep it in along the end line as that's tipped out the end line. And will result in a goal kick by Parsons as he'll get it set at the 6. Or excuse me, one of the defenders to boot that away as that is Frecker. That blasted all the way down the field, headed up high by Chuknowski, trying to keep it in is Rivera, now knocked back down towards the Pioneer side of the middle third, gathered in by Starosta. Starosta gets it ahead to Rivera. Rivera dispossessed, knocked away there by Jaju. And that ball in along the near touchline, gathered in by Medina. Medina moves it back over to Berman, right at the center line. Berman rockets it down on the far touchline. That headed away by the kicking mules, but Wilkins sends it over. Knocked down, Lucas Anderson has it. Lucas Anderson battling with Wagenhauser there. Brought back ahead, Lucas Anderson. Coming down now on the near touchline is Medina. Medina inside the attacking third. Now Starosta coming with a cross. That grabbed in. Kerbaway has it poked away. Trying to grab that back is Rivera, but that knocked the other direction. Bodied down by Medina. Medina along the near touchline, works his way towards the center of the pitch. That shot over, and Parsons able to get his hands on it. As racing in to try and get it inside the 18 was Wilkins. Parson able to get his hands on it before that. That ball hits right at the center line. Lucas Anderson Kennard feeds it ahead. Starosta gets it over. Chuknowski working down the far side of the pitch, moving it ahead. Now trying to get it over. Kerbaway with a shot at a score. Kerbaway set up by Wilkins, and Pioneer gets the early lead. Pioneer goal that at 33-38.
Carter Kerbaway gets the goal.
1-0 Pioneer with the lead.
The assist to Tyler Wilkins.
Kerbaway on the goal. Wilkins with the assist. As that ball in along the far side of the pitch, moved over by Gore. Adonis Anderson comes over to try and knock that away, picked up by Wilkins. Wilkins, who had the assist on that first goal, gets it over to Lucas Anderson. Lucas Anderson racing down the far wing. Lucas Anderson feeds it. Kerbaway, the goal scorer, trying to get a cross over into the far corner, coming down the end line. Kerbaway heads up towards the center of the pitch. Kerbaway, and pulling it down. Chuknowski got it over, now bringing it through into the 18. That shot knocked away. Wilkins right on the doorstep, back over to Kerbaway, down the far side of the pitch. Now working his way ahead, Chuknowski rebuffed by a pair of defenders, back over to Lucas Anderson, who sends it back right to the center line over to Kennard. Kennard over to Medina, down the near touchline. Medina dribbles his way towards the center of the pitch, gets that over to Chuknowski. Chuknowski feeds it through traffic over to Kerbaway. Kerbaway puts it into the 18. That rocketed out the far touchline by Allison of the Kicking Mules. 32-26 left to go here in the first half. Pioneer up 1-0 as Adonis Anderson with the throw-in. Starosta comes over to grab it. That goes out the far touchline. That will be a throw-in for the Kicking Mules. As throwing that in is Zeniser. Zeniser arcs that up, then pulls over. Lucas Anderson with it. Lucas Anderson gets it in along the near touchline over to Medina. Medina works his way up the near side of the pitch. Medina gets it over to Starosta. Starosta just on the edge of the attacking third. Feeds it over to the center of the pitch, over to Berman. Berman has that pass knocked away by Zeniser. Zeniser feeding it all the way down. Coming ahead with it, here comes the Kicking Mules, dispossessed by Kennard. Kennard avoids a slide tackle, coming ahead with it. Now he ends up that tipped away as Zeniser able to knock that away. That should be a throw-in for Pioneer as they throw it in on the far touchline. That brought back over on the defensive side to Kennard. Kennard pressure coming. Kennard flips that back over to Wilhelm. As that should be a restart for Pioneer. As Oberski got tangled up with Kennard. Wilhelm on the restart as we approach 30 minutes, 45 seconds left to go here in the first. 1-0, Pioneer with the lead. And ball gathered in. Rivera trying to make his way over. That got over to Chuknowski. Chuknowski lofts it. down deep into the attacking third as Kerbaway has it in the near corner. Kerbaway trying to get it ahead to Starosta. That knocked away down there by Smolinski. Smolinski has it knocked down. Now Starosta trying to keep it in the near touchline. Starosta trying to get a cross, and that tipped out the end line. That will end up as a corner for Pioneer as Starosta just tips that over. Now Starosta, that blasted over. Chuknowski trying to get it in the 18. Pops it up high. That headed back to Chuknowski. Chuknowski moves it high over to the far side. Now a shot by Rivera, who puts it in. Rivera blasted in from the far side. Beautiful, beautiful pass over as Chuknowski tried to feed it. Got knocked back. Chuknowski blasted it over the top. Got it over to Rivera. Pioneer up 2-0 at 29:54.
Pioneer substitutions, number 14, Santi Fiore, number 20.
Fiore comes in, as well as Krufkins. And Kaba coming in for Pioneer. As Oberski moves it back. Now trying to bring it ahead. The kicking mules, that brought over by Frecker. And along the far side of the pitch on the far wing, brought back by Zen Iser. The ball collected, moved over by Wagenhauser. Tipped away by Chuknowski. Now that moved over to Gore. Gore has it knocked away by Starosta. And Chuknowski pops it high in the air, racing over to get that. Kerfkins has it. Kerfkins in a battle down there with Van Iser. That popped up high into the 18, grabbed by Parsons. Parsons heads out to the edge of the 18. As we approach the 29-minute mark, 2-0 Pioneer with the lead. That ball headed up right at the center line. Rolls back over. Kennard moves it up high. That knocked the other direction by Jaju. Played off the body, coming over. Kerfkins gets it back over to Lucas Anderson. Lucas Anderson over to Kaba. Kaba moves it ahead. Here comes Starosta. Starosta trying to make a move. He's dispossessed, pulled away by Fricker. Now racing down the other way. Here comes Oberski. Coming down the far touchline. Berman trying to force him wide. That goes out the far touchline. That is going to be Pioneer with the throw-in. Does look like Adonis Anderson has that ball on the far touchline. Brought in Lucas Anderson right over the center line. Lucas Anderson trying to get it ahead. Here comes Fiore. Fiore and poked away by Allison in along the near touchline. Allison knocks it down right to the center line. Coming back over to get it, Lucas Anderson rolls it over. Chuknowski makes a nifty move, heading up the near wing. Chuknowski rockets it past a number of defenders. Picked up, coming over. Starosta has it. Starosta quickly on top of Starosta was Joma to try and knock that away. Now working his way over is Fricker. Pull back right at the center line. Now coming over Berman. Berman for Pioneer. Over to Chuknowski. Chuknowski gets it into the attacking third. Over to Fiore. Fiore in a heated battle trying to get that over. Pulled down by Wagenhauser. Wagenhauser rolls it back over to Smolinski, excuse me. All the way back onto the defensive third. Popped up high by Wilhelm over on the near line. As Molina gets it ahead, there's a whistle. Medina. Kind of had it on the back. That's going to be a restart for Pioneer. Medina gets it over to Berman. Berman coming down the middle of the pitch. Berman gets it over the center line, over to Starosta. Starosta coming down the near wing. Starosta makes a good move, getting around Jaju. And launched and just over Chuknowski. It's just over the crossbar. Frecker kicks it away. And high up in the air as Fiore trying to get it in a battle with Wagenhauser. And it's going to be a restart for the Kicking Mules. Pioneer up 2-0. 25-45 left to go here in the first. Berger again moves it over onto the far wing. That's stolen away. Coming ahead with it, Lucas Anderson over the center line. Lucas Anderson tries to cut between a pair of defenders. Lucas Anderson still coming down the pitch. Moves it over into the far corner. Shot! And oh, Kerfkins just missed it. Might have had just a little too much momentum. Excellent chance for Pioneer. Frecker to kick it away from the 6. That ball high, headed down by Kaba. Now Kerboy trying to get it. That pulled down by Joma. And right to the center line. And taken down by Kennard. Kennard dribbles to his right. Kennard trying to move it over onto the far side. Kerboy with the fake. Sent ahead by Kerfkins. Picked up down the far side. Moved back over to Adonis Anderson. Adonis Anderson tries to dribble to his right. He gets tied up. Down there, got tied up with Joma. That'll be a restart for Pioneer as Wilkins will have it just inside the far touchline, just inside the attacking third. That high up into the 18, headed back over on the near side. Here comes Fury. Fury had it, and getting his foot in the way was Oberski. That goes out the end line. That should be a corner for Pioneer as Rivera has it set for this set piece. And raises his hand, that headed up by the Kicking Mules over Fiore, trying to get it away from Tominello. And ball brought ahead. Here comes Gore. Moving it over. And rocketed down by Oberski on the near side. As excellent job by Medina. That goes out the near touchline with the throw-in is Oberski. Working there, Wagenhauser trying to pull that away. Now Medina dispossessing Oberski. That back over on the center of the pitch. Over to Kaba. Kaba trying to work his way over to Berman. Feeds it over along the far sideline over to Adonis Anderson. Now Berman sends it down the pitch. Taken down by Wagenhauser. Wagenhauser, that tipped over. Now shot down. Fiore has it on the near sideline. Fiore trying to get it over to Kerbaway. That intercepted. Allison heads the other direction. And Kerbaway steals it right back. That knocked down by Frecker. All the way back out the near touchline. As Medina with the throw-in on the near touchline. That arced up high. Kerbaway trying to get to it. Now Wilkins, that blasted the other direction by Allison all the way towards the Pioneer defensive third. Now Kaba trying to get to it. Kaba out there with Gore. Kaba fires it down. That goes between a pair of defenders. Joma picks it up. That goes out the far wing. Out the far touchline. Pioneer with the throw-in. 22 minutes left to go here in the first. 2-0. Pioneer with the lead as Adonis Anderson has to do a quick leaping over the gate. Again, I would wound myself greatly if I tried that. And back over, Chuknowski flipping it over to Kaba. Kaba trying to feed it ahead. Good job knocking it away by the Kicking Mules. Now here comes Wilkins, puts it into the far corner. There's a cross, trying to get it to Kaba. Knocked away by Frecker. Now Kerfkins trying to work his way through traffic again. Knocked out the end line as Frecker had it. Stopping the attack for Pioneer. Kerfkins races out to get it. That will be a corner for Pioneer. As Kerfkins to kick it away in the far corner. Kerfkins raises his hands, puts it up high, and comes over to Fiore. Knocked away, pulled back. Wilkins Krifkins trying to get through traffic. Fiore over to Kerbaway. Kerbaway dribbles. Kerbaway shot. That knocked. As I believe getting his foot on it was Jaju. That goes out the end line. That will be another corner. As that's going to be Kerbaway on the corner.
Carter Kerbaway with the ball.
Kerbaway raises his hands. Pops it up high. That knocked away. Good defensive play by Tominello. Now over to Rivera. Rivera fakes to his left, comes to the right, and all the way over on the far wing. Kerfkin's trying to race as that goes just out the end line. That will be a restart for Bedford. As Frecker will have it just on the edge of the 6.
Smolinski, number 8, now in for Bedford.
As Molinski in for Bedford. Frecker up high. That headed back by Wagenhauser. And Pioneer trying to grab it away right at center. Gets it over to Rivera. Rivera racing down the middle of the pitch. Rivera gets into the attacking third. Rivera trying to get it over into the near corner. That grab by Fiore. Fiore coming down the end line with the cross. That hit up high. Good defensive play now headed and out the near touchline. That'll be a throw-in for Pioneer as Fiore get the throw-in. I believe that down there was the defensive play by Joma to stop a chance for Pioneer. Some more substitutions coming in as Lucas Anderson back in for Pioneer.
Lucas Anderson, number 8. Isaac Cheknowski. And number 23, Felix Starosta.
And Starosta
Pioneer lineup
are back in. That over. Moved back by Medina. Now that shot by Rivera goes up just a touch high. Hit the crossbar on the American football field goal post there. Just about a foot high. Frecker to kick it away again from the 6. 2-0 Pioneer with the lead. 18:45 left to go here in the first. Low line drive kick right to center. The center line, Oberski has it back. Oberski trying to avoid pressure by Kaba. That right through, pulling it ahead is Wagenhauser. All the way back, picking it up in the 18 is Queen, by the way. Queen now in at goal for Pioneer. Tipped along the far touchline. That rocketed ahead to Kerbaway. Kerbaway moves it over to Kerfkins. Kerfkins on the far touchline. Kerbaway trying to make a move to get across as that was kicked away. Bedford made a move. Now Kerfkins in, and that fired in by Rivera.
Diego Rivera gets Pioneer's third goal.
Rivera gets his second goal of the game. Pioneer's third goal. That at the 17:58 mark. Krifkins gets the assist for the Pioneer goal. As down there, Joma tried to get a piece of it, but beautifully just touched over. Sat up Rivera, who did not waste any motion firing it in. Excellent job, and Pioneer has the 3-0 lead. That ball knocked away, racing ahead with it. Grabbing it is Oberski. Feeds it ahead for the kicking Mules. Now here comes Wagenhauser, or Gore, on the far touchline. That moved back over to Zeneiser. Intercepted. Here comes Pioneer over to Rivera. Rivera has the last 2 goals for Pioneer. That kicked over on the near side by Allison. That will go out the near touchline. Pioneer with the throw-in. 17:15 left to go here in the first. Medina pointing out where he wants folks to go. That back over to Lucas Anderson. Lucas Anderson, pressure coming. He kicks that back over to Queen. Queen has it inside the 18. Queen, folks coming over. Queen rockets it over as Somolinski was trying to race over to get it. Now here comes Rivera. Rivera racing down over the center stripe. Rivera rockets it down the far side of the pitch. Over to grab it is Zeneiser. That will go out. That will be Pioneer with the throw-in. Pioneer has it on the far touchline. Starosta has it. Starosta Gets it over to Kaba. Kaba dribbles to his right, trying to avoid pressure. Kaba gets it down the far side as Starosta has it. Starosta trying to get across. That comes into the 18, batted up high, trying to keep it in, but that goes out as that was Allison. Trying to get it out of the 18.
Corner. Felix Starosta will inbound.
Starosta with the set piece for the corner for Pioneer. Starosta, low line drive that headed back out. As sent ahead, knocked down. Medina has it. Medina dribbles to his left. Medina trying to get past traffic. That headed into the 18, and that'll go out to the near side. So that will be a goal kick for. Or no, they're going to say that's a Pioneer corner. Starosta on the corner. And booted up high, knocked down, and sent up very high by Hawkins. Back over Rivera trying to get it. Is that launched all the way down by Allison? Lucas Anderson heads back into his defensive third to gather that ball in. Lucas Anderson gets it away. Smolinski trying to provide some pressure. Pull back on the far wing. Here comes Chuknowski. Chuknowski hits it right to the center line. That intercepted. Fed down by Wagenhauser. That ball coming in on the far wing. Shot saved by Queen. Lucas Anderson feeds it all the way out the far touchline.
Will parents of Pioneer senior players please report to the concession stand to prepare for the halftime ceremony?
So that will be
please report to the concession stand.
a throw-in for Bedford. As now they're going to have Frecker in with the throw-in. And arced up high as headed away by Adonis Anderson. Coming down, Chuknowski launches it. Now here comes Kerbaway trying to get to it now on the far wing. Kerbaway with it on the far touchline. Kerbaway that kicked out by Joma. That should be Pioneer with the throw-in on the far touchline. Kerbaway throws it back over. Starosta has it. Starosta coming down the far touchline, avoids a slide tackle that's going to stay Pioneer ball. On the throw-in. Kerbaway comes over to get the throw-in. 13:28 left to go here before halftime. That ball over. Starosta moving it back towards the center of the pitch. Working his way over. Head over to Rivera as Chuknowski had it. Rivera avoids pressure. Coming over by Wagenhauser, who tried to dispossess him. That brought ahead, making a move, coming in. Kerbaway sends it into the 18. And kicked out the far sideline, far touchline by Allison. Launched over, trying to get to it, knocked away, trying to get it at Adonis Anderson, and that over out the near touchline. That brought in, Lucas Anderson has it, heads towards the center of the pitch. Lucas Anderson, coming ahead, Starosta. That tipped over by Berman, back to Starosta. Starosta on the end line, rockets that over, that tipped and in. As trying to grab it was Parson. That got put in.
Pioneer goal. Carter Kerbaway.
Kerbaway gets his second goal of the game, that at 12:08. Zoberski starting it off Frecker moves it ahead. That to Wagenhauser. Wagenhauser. Back over on the far wing. Zeniser. Got it down the far touchline. Now that sent in by Pioneer. Over to Berman. Berman gets it over to Rivera. Rivera has that pulled away by Wagenhauser. Wagenhauser feeds it ahead to Tominello. Tominello gets it over to Oberski. Oberski dribbles to his left. Chuknowski trying to dispossess him. Now that rocketed over is still working as Wilkins. Wilkins back over to Chuknowski. Chuknowski over to Lucas Anderson. Lucas Anderson on the edge of the 18. Blasted forward as that rocketed back the other direction. Sent back. Wagenhauser moves it back over to Gore. Gore sends it down on the near side over to Tominello. Tominello on the edge of the 18 and a diving save by Queen. That keeps it 4-0 Pioneer with the lead with 11:07 left to go here in the first. And knocked down by Wagenhauser. Wagenhauser battling Kaba, providing pressure. Kaba racing down with him. Wagenhauser fires it in, but that looks like that is going to be a restart for the Kicking Mules. And we'll turn things over to our amazing public address announcer, John, for our halftime celebration. Does such a wonderful job here. Frecker in with the restart just outside of the attacking third. Frecker launches it high. That knocked down over. Headed on the far side by Berman. Berman sends it down the far wing. Chuknowski trying to, or Kerboy, trying to get it. Kerboy coming around with it. That knocked down. Fed ahead to Berman. Berman pops it up. Kaba gets it back to Berman. That headed the other direction by Bedford. Knocked down and pulled down by Wagenhauser. Wagenhauser has it pulled away by Rivera. Rivera feeds it ahead to Kaba. Kaba, using his body to protect the ball, gets it back over on the far wing to Starosta. Coming down, Berman races over into the near corner, trying to get across. That went off of a Kicking Mule. That should be a corner for Pioneer. Looks like Starosta coming over to send the corner in. 9:30 left to go here on a fantastic senior night. Again, it's always kind of a double-edged sword as you're very happy to celebrate these seniors and their amazing career. You're also sad that you won't get to see them in Pioneer uniforms much more. That headed away by Wagenhauser, but you know these fantastic athletes and students will do very well in their next adventure. That pulled back over, gathered in, bringing ahead Chuknowski over along the near touch line. Grabbing that was Kennard. Kennard gets it over to Adonis Anderson. Adonis Anderson trying to dribble through pressure as Hopkins challenging. That goes out. That should be another corner as Adonis Anderson gets it set up for the set piece here for Pioneer. 8:30 left to go. Now coming over as that is going to be Kennard to take this corner. Kennard puts it up high, comes over to the far side. Fiore with it. Fiore at knocked away. Bedford heads down the far side of the pitch, trying to get it ahead is Shunk. Moved all the way back. Lucas Anderson gathers it in. Lucas Anderson ahead. Coming over Medina. Medina over to Adonis Anderson, rolls it back to Lucas Anderson. Lucas Anderson moves it back to Queen. Queen has it just on the edge of the 18. Queen rockets it forward. Fiore keeping it in. Starosta trying to get it ahead. That went off of a Kicking Mule. Now Kaba trying to get it over. Kaba gets tangled up as both players go down. Medina flips it over to Kaba with a beautiful play. And pop down, trying to get it the other direction is Joma. And move back. Starosta right at the center line. Over to Medina. Medina gets it back to Chuknowski. Medina dribbles to the right, loses an edge and goes down, but that picked up by Lucas Anderson. Lucas Anderson over to Adonis Anderson, back to Lucas Anderson right at the center line. 7 minutes left to go. Pioneer in the first half. Pioneer up 4-0. Berman trying to get through traffic. Kaba has it. Kaba moves it back over to Chuknowski. Chuknowski puts it down the far wing. Now Fiore back to Chuknowski. Chuknowski pops it up high in the 18. That headed over as Kennard has it, and that knocked out the end line. Kennard with a cast on his right hand. Trying to get over and play that, move that in, and that ends
Senior
up with a
parents,
goal
once
kick.
again, if you would report to the concession stand area for the halftime ceremony. Thank you.
6:25 left to go before halftime, where we'll have the senior celebration. That ball set right at the 6. Now Frecker moves it out. That headed up high by Gore. Brought back over, trying to get to it. Pulling it down on the near wing is Tominello. That knocked down by Van Ryan. Van Ryan launches it ahead. That headed by Berman. Now racing over is Kennard. Kennard, and it just gets a little too far out in front of him. He is trying to dribble it just ahead and give him a chance, and the ball just kind of sailed a little bit on him. 5:35 left to go.
Substitutions, Rafa Carrillo, number 6. Number 12, Elon Seinfeld-Chop.
Carrillo and
Number
Seinfeld
19,
chop in for
Micah
Pioneer.
Jacobson. And number 22, Brendan Moore.
Brendan Moore also in, and Jacobson for Pioneer. That ball into the near corner. Pulled down, that goes out. As that will be Bedford ball on the throw-in, as trying to get over to Tominello. And grabbed over by Fiore. Fiore trying to make his way through traffic, gets it back. And over to Kennard. Kennard moves it over to Rifler. And sent back over to Seinfeld-Chop. Seinfeld-Chop moves his way to the center of the pitch. Now Jacobson with a shot that just goes high. As the seniors now making their way over with their parents. So we got a lot of underclassmen in right now for Pioneer. I believe Kennard is a senior though, so at some point he'll have to come out. That comes out over. That'll be a throw-in by Rifler. Rifler trying to get it over to Kennard. Kennard racing down the near touchline. Kennard coming in along the end line. Kennard trying to move it over. That's stolen away by Bedford. Moore raced over to get it. Now coming over, Carrillo with it. Carrillo all the way over. Bringing it ahead is Janssen. Janssen moves over onto the near wing. Back over to Rifler. Rifler, that knocked away. Dispossessed by Tominello. That goes out. Pioneer. Rifler with the quick throw-in over to Kennard. Kennard playing it off the body. Kennard trying to make his way through traffic. Back over to Rifler. Rifler gets it over into the near corner for Moore. Moore trying to make his way past a couple players. That rocketed down the other direction by Gore, but that will come back. 3:22 left to go. That is going to be a restart for Kennard. Pioneer with the restart deep in the attacking third, as both Kennard and Rifler back there. Just to make the defense not sure who's going to kick it away. Now Rifler comes in. Rifler with the fake. Kennard puts it up high, and that just goes a little far to the out the far side, out the end line, just about a foot wide.
Now in for the kicking mules, number 15, Joseph Jaju.
As Jaju in for the kicking mules. And to kick it away is Frecker. Frecker sends it all the way down. That headed back. Moore chases it down on the far touchline. Fiore trying to get to it. Fiore in a big battle over there with Zeniser. Zeniser with the throw-in on the far touchline. As Jan Sane has that kick down, go out the touchline on the far side. Templeton with the throw-in. And Templeton will get it over to Jan Sane. Jan Sane with the throw-in for Pioneer. That ball, moving it over to Jacobson. Jacobson brings it into the attacking third. Jacobson trying to get over to Moore, who lost an edge. That ball loose. Now batted up high in the air by Tominello. Jan Sane chases it on the far side of the pitch. That goes out right in front of the Bedford bench. 1 minute, 35 seconds left to go here before halftime. As the Kicking Mules with the throw-in on the far touchline, trying to make his way through. Wagenhauser gets caught up with Jan Sane. That will be a restart for the Kicking Mules. As Wagenhauser with the restart. 1 minute, 5 seconds left to go. Wagenhauser sends it up into the 18, headed back by Templeton.
1 minute.
Racing, Fiore has it on the far sideline. Fiore sends it down the far wing, and a big collision as both players were going for the head. Neither of them were trying to run into each other, but they both had their heads up for the ball, and Moore collided. Moore and one of the other Bedford players absolutely collided with each other and both down. We hope those players are all right. Nothing malicious about it, just that's frightening when you're both going for a header, so you both have your eyes up towards the sky, and boy, they both, lots of determination coming in with speed, and both bodies kind of hit each other and flung away. We are hoping that they are both all right as the trainers out on the field. Both of those young gentlemen had a tough collision there. As we're going to step away, we'll play a few messages from the MHSAA as we keep our fingers crossed and hope that everybody is all right. As quickly out there, the trainers, Pioneer's athletic director out there as well, Eve Claire, taking a look. She called out for another trainer, and Moore has rolled over, so we are very glad to see that. I can't see what's happening, but we will put our faith in the fantastic talents of the trainers here, keep our fingers crossed, and send some very good thoughts to those two young gentlemen down on the pitch. And we'll play a little message from the MHSAA.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
So both players are up. Joma was the injured Bedford player. He's been taken over to the bench. They had his arm up, his right arm up and being supported, as well as something back on his head. And then Moore is over to the sideline being helped off for Pioneer. So we really hope that both of those young gentlemen are not too severely injured and both get healthy quick. You love to see these players playing their absolute guts out, but you don't want to see any of these players injured if at all possible. So excellent job by the training staffs out there. We really appreciate all those medical folks who work with the teams, who try and keep everyone safe. Thank you to everyone who responded to that. And I know there's got to be some So a clock's going to run out to halftime. And we'll go over and have the senior celebration. We'll turn it over to the fantastic public address announcer here at Pioneer, John. As, again, we hope those young folks will be all right, still being tended to on the benches.
It's the official end of the first half. Pioneer 4, Bedford nothing. We will very shortly start our senior day celebration.
So as we're working Coach came over and gave the parents a little bit of information. That's good because I can't imagine being the parent of either of those two young gentlemen. That's got to be an awful feeling. But they're coming out as they get the Pioneer arch right at the middle of the field. Nice purple and white arch as they get the bases set. As we will turn it over for the senior celebration in just a moment. But let's look at some of the scores from the SEC Red as they're getting set up for this past week. If we go all the way back to Monday the 28th, it was Adrian 4, Jackson 0. Pinckney beat Ypsilanti 8-0, and it was Chelsea beating Tecumseh 3-0. Over on Tuesday the 27th, it was Skyline and Huron ending up in a 2-2 draw. Saline beat Bedford by a score of 2-1. It was Pioneer blanking Lincoln 7-0, and Dexter beating Monroe 3-1. Back on Wednesday the 28th, it was Pinckney taking it to Tecumseh 6-2. Ypsilanti beat Adrian 3-2. It was Chelsea beating Jackson 2-0. And then back on Thursday the 29th, Pioneer beat Monroe 2-1. It was Skyline 10, Bedford 2. Saline blanked Dexter 7-0. And it was Huron beating Lincoln 5-2. And then this past Monday yesterday, Pinckney blanked Chelsea 2-0. It was a 3-3 draw between Jackson and Ypsilanti and a 1-1 draw between Adrian and Tecumseh. As the seniors coming out, getting set, all lined up across the way. As the players have a box over to the right. Again, we are exceedingly grateful to these seniors for their time with Pioneer Athletics. We wish them well, as we know that they will have amazing opportunities and hopefully do very, very well in whatever their next adventure may be. Hopefully we'll get to see a few of them in winter and spring sports.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Now we'll turn it over to John.
We welcome you to tonight's senior night for the Pioneer Soccer Program, honoring all seniors for their years of effort and dedication to their teams. But first, we want to congratulate the seniors from Bedford High School. Let's hear it for the Bedford seniors. Now for our Pioneer seniors, we recognize and thank their families for all the support they've given to the players and to the program over the years. So here we are, introducing number 0, Ryan Queen, goalkeeper, escorted by his parents, Kirsten Queen and Dave Queen. Ryan's favorite memory is winning districts, and his advice for incoming freshmen: cherish the short amount of time you have with your team. Ryan Queen. And now number 1, Zachary Wilhelm, escorted by his parents, Carrie Leahy and Tim Wilhelm. A goalkeeper, his favorite memory is winning districts last season against Skyline. His advice: be vocal, whether you're just talking to your coach or you're on the field. And now, number 2, Adonis Anderson. He's escorted by his mother, Yolanda Coles, and aunt, Cheyenne Anderson. A right back, his favorite memory is when he scored his first goal in Pioneer Men's Soccer Program against Chelsea in his freshman year. His advice: become friends with people throughout the program who can challenge you to improve your skills. Adonis Anderson. Number 3, Reese Berman, escorted by his parents, Valerie Strasberg and Aaron Berman. A center back, his favorite memories are winning districts last year. Playing in such a high-intensity atmosphere was amazing, as were the celebrations after the game, lifting the trophy and thanking the fans. I'm hoping to repeat all that this year. Reese Berman. Now number 7, Sam Kennard. He's escorted by his parents, Susan and Amy Williker Brown, and Joel and Meg Kennard. He's a right back, and his favorite memory is winning district. And his advice is always be a team player and have fun. Number 8, Lucas Anderson. He's escorted by his parents, Matt and Jill Anderson, and siblings Ella, Ryan, and Macy. A center mid, Lucas's favorite memory is, of course, beating Skyline in the district finals last year. And his advice: play with confidence, enjoy yourself, and have fun. Time flies. Amen to that. Number 10, Isaac Chuknowski, escorted by his parents, Larissa Chepnowski met him and sister Layla Levy-Chepnowski. Center midfielder, his favorite memory is beating Skyline 2-1 in the district final at the Eagles Nest. His advice, just to simply work hard and play hard. You'll be successful in the program if you always give effort. Isaac Chepnowski. And now number 14, Santiago Fiore. Escorted by his parents, Paula Oliva and Carlos Fiore. He's a forward winger, and his favorite memory is scoring 2 game-winning goals at Skyline freshman year. And his advice, show up to every game in practice, even the optional ones, ready to put in the work. Nothing will get you further both on the field and in life than hard work and dedication. Santi Fiore, a philosopher. Number 16, Lucas Medina. Escorted by his parents, Courtney Medina and Alejandro Medina. A defender, his favorite memory is beating Skyline his freshman year. His advice is try to maintain a good attitude no matter the circumstances. Enjoy all the time you have on the field because it goes by faster than you think. Lucas Medina. Now Diego Rivera, escorted by his parents Stephanie and Fabio Rivera. Diego, a forward, his favorite memory is scoring the game-winning goal in district finals last year. And his advice, enjoy every moment of every practice and every game. Diego Rivera. Number 18, Tyler Wilkins. He's escorted by his parents Fred and Jody Wilkins and sister Sadie. A winger, his favorite memory is scoring the last-minute game-winning goal against Saline to win the league and celebrate with the team. His advice, cherish every moment because 4 years goes by so fast. Tyler Wilkins. Number 20, Alex Perkins, escorted by parents Oliver and Naki. A winger, Alex says his favorite memory are the team banquets after the season ends. Everybody likes a party, Alex. His advice, be honest with yourself at all times. It'll help in the long run. Alex Perkins. And now, number 23, Felix DeRosa, escorted by his father, Patrick. Felix, a center attacking mid and striker, his favorite memory, of course, was winning districts against Skyline. His advice, put in the work and believe in the team. The team, the team. Felix DeRosa. Number 27, it's Carter Hollway. He's escorted by his father, Kyle. Carter, a striker, his favorite memory is getting to play with a lot of his old buddies who I don't get to play with on a club team. His advice, be yourself, have fun, and have confidence in yourself. Carter Hollway. Number 30, Abdul Kaba, escorted by his mother, Asata Kande, sister Mahawa Kaba, and cousin Bintu Kandi. A midfielder, his favorite memory was scoring his first varsity goal. And the lesson I learned from Pioneer Men's Soccer Program would be to always support your teammates and work as hard as you can. His advice, stay positive and have an impact when you can. Abdul Kaba! And number 99, Cole Pera, escorted by his father, Greg. The goalkeeper, his favorite memory has to be the ride back on the bus after games. Was that in the front of the bus or the back of the bus, Cole? Advice, work your hardest on and off the field. Intensity is key when it comes to a soccer game. Cole Peroff. Let's hear it one more time for the class of 2023.
Wonderful
And the
celebration
2022
for
varsity.
the seniors.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank
Very,
you
very
for all you've
grateful.
given to the team.
Thank you to the
Parents,
seniors,
players,
their
we're
parents,
proud of your work
and
on and
all
off
of the
the
hard
field,
work that they
and we
put
wish
in
you all the best
for these
in your
teams.
future endeavors.
And we are just very grateful
Ladies and gentlemen,
for the way they
families
play
of
and
seniors
represent
and all
this
players,
school
please join
and for their
them
hard
in the
work.
locker room after the game for a reception with cider and donuts. Thank you.
As we'll play a few messages from the MHSAA, and as they tear apart the arch there and get everything back, and we will head back into the second as Pioneer 4-0 at halftime. We'll be right back with the opening to the second half.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we're getting ready to go here for the second, 4-0 Pioneer with the lead. More still being intended to over on the bench. Not sure. Hopefully they have taken care of and are looking after Joma, the other player who was injured. Wonderful senior celebration here. We appreciate that. Is Kerbaway right at inside the center circle, gets things away. Lucas Anderson blasted all the way down the pitch. Is trying to grab that and bring that the other direction. Is Hopkins. All the way back, gathering it. Oberski back over to Wagenhauser. Wagenhauser moves it ahead. That ball racing over to the right-hand side is Oberski. Oberski coming down the far touchline now. Oberski fires it. That goes just wide. As Paroff in goal for Pioneer. 3 senior goaltenders. Pioneer has some fantastic keepers on the team. Paroff gets it moved over. Bringing it ahead is Berman. Berman moves it over to Lucas Anderson. Lucas Anderson back over to Paroff. Paroff. Pressure coming. Swipes it over to Berman. Berman over to Adonis Anderson. Adonis Anderson down the near touchline. Gets it over to Starosa. Starosa back over to Adonis Anderson on the near wing. And over to Rivera. Rivera back over to Adonis Anderson. Now Starosa has it. And taken away by Wagenhauser. Wagenhauser feeds it down the far wing over to Tominello. That's sent back to Tominello. Spinning goes out the far touchline. Pioneer will have a throw in. Medina with the throw in. That back over. Kennard back over to Medina. Fires it ahead. Starosa has it. Starosa over to Chuknowski. Chuknowski back over to Lucas Anderson. Lucas Anderson feeds it down the far wing. That's sent ahead. Kerbaway racing down the far touchline towards the corner. Kerbaway stops trying to flip that into the 18. Rivera trying to get to it, but Gore blasts it down back into the middle third. Lucas Anderson grabs it. Lucas Anderson heading back into the offensive third. Then that shot high up by Adonis Anderson. Lucas Anderson trying to get a piece of it. That goes out the end line. That will be a goal kick. The moon visible high above the goal to our right. Beautiful above the trees. Parson waving everyone over. Now ready to kick it away. And knocked down. Headed over, trying to get it back to Rivera. Rivera from Kerbaway into the near corner. Gets a crossover, and that wouldn't settle down as an excellent opportunity. Just couldn't capitalize as that ball brought right back in by Pioneer. Kerbaway trying to get to it. Medina has it on the far sideline. Over to Kerbaway in the far corner. Or excuse me, Starosa in the far corner. Starosa coming down the end line. That grabbed by Parsons. Waiting to send it away. Parsons kicks it down. That headed back by Pioneer. Rivera trying to get it over. Racing over is Kerbaway. Kerbaway on the near touchline. Kerbaway trying to make his way through traffic. Now Rivera has it. Rivera into the 18. Rivera racing towards the center of the pitch. That shot. That went off of, I believe that was Gore down there who got his body in the way, stopping a good opportunity for Pioneer. That ball gathered in by Oberski. Oberski has it tipped away. Now back over to Oberski. Oberski trying to get his way past Chuknowski over to Gore. Gore Moves it ahead over to Wagenhauser. Wagenhauser has that knocked away. Here comes Lucas Anderson the other direction for Pioneer. Lucas Anderson on the far side of the pitch. That shot all the way down into the 18, grabbed by Parson. 35-51 left to go here in the second. Parson pass it down right to the blockades. Here comes Rivera. Rivera coming down the near wing. Rivera moves over to Chuknowski. Chuknowski with the shot. I think it settled down. I don't think it was able to get everything on it. Parsons grabs it. 4-0 Pioneer with the lead. 35-23 left to go here in the second. Senior Day celebration. Adonis Anderson getting it back. Chuknowski racing over now. Oberski trying to bring it the other direction. Lucas Anderson comes down the far touchline. Lucas Anderson trying to get himself around Wagenhauser and back over. Here comes Kerbaway. Kerbaway with a nifty dick, and that ball goes just to the far side. Good opportunity tipped away by Parsons.
Corner
That
for
should be
Pioneer.
a corner for Pioneer. As Wilkins to take the corner.
Tyler Wilkins with the ball.
Wilkins has it set for the first set piece of the second half. 34-35 left to go. That ball, low line drive. Berman got his foot on it, but that all the way up onto the hill back behind. There's going to be a couple soccer balls that someone's going to have a scavenger hunt for back up over there. As one of the ball folk went back to chase and try and find them, that's going to be another corner. As Wilkins set, just moves it quickly over to Kerbaway. Kerbaway gets it back to Wilkins. Wilkins with a shot that just goes high, a little wide to the near side. That'll be a goal kick as Parson gets it on the edge of the 6. 33 minutes, 45 seconds left to go here in the second. Parsons to boot it away. That ball over, grabbing it, Zeneiser. Zeneiser moved over, Rivera with it. Rivera putting it on net. That grabbed by Parson. As the keeper goes out to the edge of the 18. Now Parsons. High arcing bomb, that right to the center line. Pull it down is Oberski. Oberski sends it ahead. Now Kennard pulls that away back to Berman. Berman trying to avoid Oberski's pressure. Ahead to Chuknowski. Chuknowski races over the center line. Chuknowski coming down the near wing. Gets it over to Rivera. Rivera makes a nifty move coming down on the edge. Gets into the attacking third as Rivera trying to dribble through traffic. Feeds it over on the far side. Bringing it in now. There's a shot and a goal by Wilkins. Wilkins puts it in from the far side of the 18.
Diego Rivera.
Rivera gets an assist to go along with his 2 goals. And Pioneer up 5-0 at 32-43.
Playing in the field. Also for Bedford, number 3, Caden Connor.
Ball right at the center. Pulled back down. Coming over with it was Mustang. There's a shot and a goal! As Wilkins puts it in again. That makes it 6-0.
Had so much fun the first time, he did it again.
That ball kicked away. Pulling ahead is Zeneiser. Zeneiser gets it back and then along the near wing. Zeneiser feeds it. Now Gore coming ahead with it. Lucas Anderson comes over to challenge. And brought back. Lucas Anderson pulls it away for Pioneer. Lucas Anderson working against Gore. Gets it ahead to Kaba. Kaba coming down the far wing. Kaba moves it over. Now Queen playing out. Typically a keeper. He has the black jersey on. That's sent out.
That'll be a corner for
The end
Pioneer.
line. That will be a corner for Pioneer. Lucas Anderson going to
Lucas
take
Anderson
the corner.
will have the ball for the corner.
6-0 Pioneer, 31:45 left to go here in the second. Lucas Anderson raises both arms. Now kicks it in the air. Headed and just over to the near side. Wilhelm playing out as well. So both Queen and Wilhelm getting a chance to be further down on the pitch than they normally do. And Wilhelm almost got a header into the goal. Sprecher in to boot it away from the 6 as we approach the 31-minute mark, counting down. That ball, Kaba heads it up, racing over now. That knockdown by Wilhelm. Wilhelm races into the 18. Wilhelm puts a shot in and goes! The goalkeeper Wilhelm playing out. He gets it in
Matt Wilhelm.
at the 30-41 mark. As you love to see that. That doesn't get to happen often.
Goalkeeper taking a busman's holiday.
As back playing keeper is Kerbaway, by the way. So I believe that probably means that Piroff is out there as well. All three keepers getting a chance. That brought over. Gore has it right at center. Now brought down. Berman gets it over to Lucas Anderson. Lucas Anderson coming ahead with it. Lucas Anderson trying to get it over to Kerfkins. Now flips that over to Kaba right at the center line. Kaba moves it back over to Kennard. Kennard dribbling over to his left, trying to avoid pressure by Wagenhauser. Now that chipped over to Lucas Anderson. Lucas Anderson on a give and go. Got it over to Piroff. Piroff ends up going down. He would like a restart there. That'll be a restart for Pioneer. Piroff heads down into the 18. Lucas Anderson to kick it away. 29:55 left to go here. Kennard coming over, talking to Lucas Anderson. As that chipped up into the air, headed over and grabbed by Parson. You know, Wilhelm got a goal, so you know that both Queen and Piroff want to get in on the action. As that booted away. Lucas Anderson chips it over Kaba. Kaba playing it down towards the near side. Kerfkin's trying to get to it. That pulled away. Good play by the kicking Mules, bringing it over Wagenhauser. Wagenhauser over to Gore. Gore racing down the far side of the pitch. Gore with the shot, and that grabbed by Kerbaway. Kerbaway heads out to the edge of the 18, dribbles that on the pitch, and then boots it all the way down. That moved over by Queen, over to Kaba. Kaba header play. That flipped over Adonis Anderson. Gets it back over to Lucas Anderson. Lucas Anderson over ahead on the far wing as Queen was trying to, or Piroff was trying to get to it. That brought down the other direction. Here comes Gore for the kicking Mules. Lucas Anderson to challenge. That brought back over. Kennard has it on the far side of the pitch. Drops it back to Wilkins. Wilkins over to Lucas Anderson coming down the center of the pitch. Lucas Anderson gets it over to Queen. Queen heads back. Now trying to get around Gore. Queen feeds that ahead to Piroff. Piroff gets over the center line, drops it back to Lucas Anderson. Lucas Anderson over on the far side to Queen. Queen, that tipped away by Stank. Now bringing it down. Piroff has it. Trying to get it over to Queen as it's a keeper foray there. All the way back onto the defensive side for Pioneer. Racing out and grabbed by Kerbaway. Kerbaway just quickly rolls it over. Berman over to Kaba. Kaba down the near side of the pitch. 7-0 Pioneer with the lead. One more goal and that would be officially the end of it. If Bedford is not able to score, that ball goes out the near touchline. Kerfkins with the throw in. He'll flip that over to Adonis Anderson. Adonis Anderson over to Queen. Queen pops it up high. Kerfkins racing into the 18. Kerfkins trying to get it working onto the near side of the pitch. Kerfkins sends it back over to Adonis Anderson. Adonis Anderson, pressure coming from behind. That pulled back over, sent the other direction by McLeod. Now Kaba trying to get to it. Kaba avoiding a trio of defenders. And Lucas Anderson back over to Kaba. Kaba flips that back over to Berman. Berman racing down the near wing. Berman gets it over to Kerfkins. Kerfkins over to Kaba, centered up. Now over to Lucas Anderson. Lucas Anderson, that kicked all the way back. Pulled back over by Wagenhauser. Wagenhauser feeds it all the way down the pitch. Racing over well out of the 18, but blasted all the way down by Kerbaway. That ball right at the center line. Fired ahead, Bedford. Gore has it. Gore trying to get around Kaba. Now Kennard tries to get it all the way back, and that picked up by Kerbaway. Kerbaway just rolls it over to Berman on the near side. Berman dribbles to his left, gets it ahead to Lucas Anderson. Lucas Anderson now coming down on the near wing. Lucas Anderson feeds it ahead. Kerfkins racing over to it. Kerfkins gets across, and that kicked away. That will go out the near touch. Oh, holding it in. Good job by Bedford as they fired all the way back. Berman has it on the near wing. Berman flips it over to Kaba. Kaba rolls it ahead. That grab touched by Peroff. Now blasted the other direction. Held in. Now Medina racing ahead with it. Medina dribbles back, trying to avoid pressure over there by Mikola. Go out the far touchline. As that is going to be a restart right at the 20-yard line over towards the far side of the pitch. Now Peroff is going to take the restart inside the attacking third. It looks like he is. Lucas Anderson just to his right. Now Peroff kicks it up, and that goes in! Peroff with the goal. Parsons trying to get it, but that off of the post, and Peroff finishes things off. 8-0 with another goal by a keeper. Playing out at 24-44. That will do it. As Pioneer wraps things up, 4 goals in the first. 4 goals in the second, I believe. No goal. No goal. No goal. That'll be back 7-0. As Pioneer, the team has to get set back up. They were having a huge celebration in the corner, so the clock will continue to run as that goal will be stricken off of the books. Well, it came over, and Parson tried to get a piece of it. It hit the woodwork on the near side, and then it looked like it bounced in, but I do not have a good view, as good a view as the official over there, and awful tough where you have just 2 officials working this game. And pulled back, Peroff back over to Kaba. Kaba has that pulled away by McLeod. That sent ahead. Kaba trying to get it away from McLeod. Kaba feeds it over. That sent back over to Lucas Anderson. Lucas Anderson ahead to Queen. Queen rolls it back over. That in along the far touchline, and that will go out. That will be kicking mule. Oh no. Pioneer with the throw-in. Lucas Anderson with the throw-in. 23 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. Here in this the second half. And ball gathered away, put into the far corner, racing ahead with it. Fiore trying to keep it in. Now Fiore quickly throws it over to Queen. Over on the far side to Medina. Medina racing down. Medina rolls it into the 18 and a diving save by Parson. Parson will come out to the edge of the 18. Under 23 minutes to go here in the second. Parson boots it away. That went off of Chuknowski's body over onto the far side. Now Chuknowski chips that over onto the far wing. Chuknowski rolls it ahead to Medina. Medina keeping it right on that far touchline. Medina blasts it all the way down. Racing over is Allison to play it for the Kicking Mules. That goes out the far touchline. Fiore with the throw-in. Fiore over to Queen. And brought back. Medina trying to get it. That out the far touchline. Medina with the throw-in. Over to Chuknowski. Chuknowski has that tipped away. Chuknowski gathering it back in. Heads towards the center of the pitch. Now stops it. Rolls it over to Medina on the far wing. Medina just inside the attacking third. Gets it over to Fiore. Fiore sends it down and that rocketed away. Blasted the other direction by Allison. Allison stopped a couple good attempts by Pioneer in the last minute. Chuknowski rolls it back to his defensive pairing. Gathered up by Kerbaway. Kerbaway over to Berman. Berman moves it back over to Kerbaway. Pressure coming from Wagenhauser. And over onto the far wing to Kennard. Kennard gets it ahead. Heavy pressure as Chuknowski moves it over, trying to hold it in is Medina. Then fired ahead and out by Frecker. That should be a throw-in for Pioneer. And it is. Kennard has it back in along the far wing. Kennard launches it over the center line as Kerfkins heads it ahead, racing over that kick back. Pulled down by McLeod. McLeod on the near wing. Now that grab by Kerfkins. Kerfkins trying to head down towards the end line. Kerfkins with the cross. That rolled all the way. Gore grabs it and heads the other direction. 7-0 Pioneer with the lead. 20 minutes, 45 seconds left to go. Here in the second, Berman has it back on his own defensive third. Brings it into the middle third. Berman rolls it over to Chuknowski. Chuknowski brings it over the center line. Chuknowski feeds it ahead, trying to get it. Here comes Kaba with a shot, and that one just high. Offsides also, I believe. So that was offsides beforehand. Good cheering section, giving Kaba some love on the fantastic shot there. Ball sent down, headed down by Pioneer. Here comes Kaba. Kaba on the near wing, stops. Kaba just barely able to avoid going down and having a handball. And back over to Berman. Berman and pulled away. Here comes a breakaway with Wagenhauser. Wagenhauser with the shot. And good save by Kerbaway. Kerbaway over to Kennard. And Chuknowski feeds it over in along the far sideline. And brought over by Starosa. Sent back to Kerbaway. Kerbaway has it inside the 18. Kerbaway launches it. That booted up high and comes over. Adonis Anderson heading it, but that goes out the near touchline. That will be Pioneer with the throw-in. Adonis Anderson, but there is a whistle. Substitutions coming in.
Number 22, Kenny Bishop. In for Bedford.
Bishop in for Bedford.
Pioneer number 18, Tyler Wilkins.
Wilkins in for Pioneer. Chuknowski has it. Chuknowski feeding it ahead, racing forward. As here comes Pioneer coming down the near wing is Queen. That goes out the near touchline. Zeniser with the throw-in. Playing it off the body. Adonis Anderson trying to get it on the near touchline. Pioneer with the throw-in. Nope, that'll be over to Bedford. 18 minutes, 25 seconds left to go as bringing it in Zaniser. Zaniser got it over to McLeod, then fired ahead, now racing down with it is Wagenhauser. He's been very dangerous. Kennard pulls it back over as Kerbaway fires it down the far side of the pitch. Here comes Pioneer racing ahead down the far side. Starosa has it back. Kennard plays it off the body, comes back over. Kennard moves it over to Wilkins. Wilkins has it right on the center of the pitch. Wilkins launches it high as that knocked down by Bedford. Battleford in along the near wing, working through pressure was Kerfkins, but that batted away. Sent all the way down the pitch. Gore trying to head that over to Wagenhauser. Now trying to pull that away was Wilkins. Wilkins dispossesses Wagenhauser, moves it over to Chuknowski. Wagenhauser still with loads of effort and energy, trying to play tough versus Pioneer. As that pulled back to Pirov. Pirov gets it over, coming down on the far wing is Starosa. Over to Fiore. Fiore racing down with the cross. That headed over and just did it go in? It went in. I believe that was Queen with the goal.
Brian Queen.
Well, Pirov got to celebrate a goal even though it was waved off, and now Queen fires one in. So all three keepers got to celebrate a goal even though the Pirov goal was waved off. So you got to love that as the team on the sideline just waiting for Queen to come over at the 17:06 mark.
That's the game.
That is the game due to a mercy rule. So Pioneer wins 8-0. As Pioneer will be back in action at Huron on Thursday. We will effort to be there. I will just need to verify with the Huron Athletic Director, but we'll see if we can be over there and broadcast that game. Thank you to all the seniors, all the parents. Thank you very much for all those folks watching who couldn't be here and watching afterwards. We appreciate it. For my camera person, as they will be announcing a playoff game, we'll tweet that out when that happens. All MHSAA playoff games do have to be broadcast on the NFHS network. So we'll see if we can broadcast that, but unfortunately it'll have to be on the NFHS network. We don't have a choice in that, but we'll see if we can broadcast the playoff games as well. So for my camera person, Christina Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you very much for your support of these amazing athletes, and have a wonderful night. We'll hope to see you, hopefully, Thursday, fingers crossed, from Riverbank Stadium. Thank you and good night.